In this video, I'll show you how to control an RGB LED with an Arduino. RGB LEDs are a single LED package with 3 different LEDs inside them, one red, one green, and one blue. So you can control the brightness of the 3 colors separately to mix them and create different colors. They're a great way to add really cool lighting effects to your Arduino projects, and in this video, I'll show you how. Let's turn the lights on and take a look at the circuit. Here on the breadboard, we have the RGB LED, which looks pretty much like a regular LED, except as you can see, it has 4 pins. We will talk about how to tell which pin is which in a little bit. 3 of those pins have current limiting resistors, which you need to prevent the LEDs from burning out, and one of them is connected directly to ground. The pins with the resistors are connected to Arduino output pins that have the PWM, or analog write capability, so we can control their brightness. We also have 3 potentiometers connected to the Arduino's analog input pins, and 1 potentiometer controls each color. So you can see when I turn this one up, I brighten the red LED. When I turn this one up, I brighten the green LED. And when I turn this one up, I brighten the blue LED. And again, it is mixing and matching those different color levels that allows you to create different colors like magenta by combining red and blue. If we switch over to the computer, we are going to look at the datasheet for an LED. Now, there is a lot of information in this that we're not going to cover in this video. What you want to do is just scroll until you find the wiring diagram that is going to tell you which pin is which on the LED. Again, the physical LED has 4 pins, and you can't tell which is which just by looking at it. But the datasheet, which I forgot to mention, you should be able to find linked from whatever website you bought the LEDs on. So check around the page, look in the description, and see if there's a link to the datasheet somewhere. This datasheet will have a wiring diagram like this that you see has pin numbers corresponding to the physical pins on the LED going from left to right. And you see, you can tell which is which because these are not all exactly the same length. So you can see that pin number 2 is the longest, so that's how you can orient yourself, figure out which pin is which one is red, green, and blue, and then which one is either the cathode or the anode. So this is an example of a common cathode LED, meaning all of the LEDs share the cathode or negative pin. You can also find common anode RGB LEDs, meaning all of the LEDs would share the anode or positive pin. So in our circuit, this pin is going to be connected to ground because it is the negative side. We will see that in a minute when we look at the breadboard, but in a common anode LED, the anode would be connected to 5 volts or the positive side of the circuit. Now let's switch over and take a look at the circuit. This is a program called Tinkercad Circuits, which is a free online Arduino simulator. We have a separate tutorial about it in our Arduino playlist, which you can find linked in the description of this video. But for now, we are going to use it because it lets us see the breadboard connections more easily side by side with the code. Zooming in on the LED, which again has 4 pins, we have those pins in 4 separate rows of the breadboard. It is important not to put the LED in the breadboard like this because all of the holes in a row like this are connected, so this would be shorting all of the pins together. So make sure you put the pins in separate rows on the breadboard. And in Tinkercad here, it has this helpful thing where if you mouse over the pin, it tells you which one it is. Again, you don't get that in real life, so you need to look up the datasheet to figure out which pin is which. But we have the cathode as pin 2 here, and again, that is the LED's negative pin, so we are going to connect that to our ground bus, which is then connected to ground on the Arduino. Each of the LED color pins then gets its own current limiting resistor. And selecting a resistor and reading their color bands and everything is sort of a topic for a different video, but the very short version here is that this helps limit the current and prevent the LED from burning out because the Arduino's pins are 5 volts. That is too much voltage for the LEDs and would cause it to burn out without having a resistor to drop a bit of that voltage and limit the current. And again, going through all of that is really a topic for a different video. The quick rule of thumb here is that we are going to use slightly larger resistors for the red and green LEDs because they require a little less voltage than the blue LED. So I have chosen 330 ohm resistors for red and green. That's orange, orange, brown, gold bands, and then a slightly smaller 220 ohm resistor. That's red, red, brown, gold for the blue LED. And when working with 5 volts from an Arduino, that should keep your current all to nice safe levels below 20 milliamps, which is what these LEDs are typically rated for. You probably could go a little smaller, but again, figuring that out is a topic for a different video. Each one of those resistors is in series with one of the LED pins and then connected to one of the Arduino's pins that has PWM functionality. So PWM stands for pulse width modulation. It has this little tilde or squiggly symbol. Only certain Arduino pins have that capability, so I have selected pins 9, 10, and 11 here. This is necessary if you want to be able to individually control the brightness of the different colors by fading them from a minimum to maximum value, and we will see in a minute how you do that with the code. We also have 3 potentiometers here that we are going to use to separately control the brightness of each LED color. Now, we have another entire tutorial video just about potentiometers early in our Arduino tutorial series, which again you can find linked in the description of this video. So we're not going to go over them in too much detail here. The short version is that each potentiometer has 3 pins. The outer 2 pins get connected to 5 volts and ground on the breadboard, and the middle pin gets connected to one of the Arduino's analog inputs. And by turning this knob, we change the voltage on that middle pin from a value between 0 and 5 volts, which is read by the analog input, and then as you'll see in the code, we use that to control the LED brightness. So there are, again, 3 of those potentiometers. As with the LEDs, make sure these pins go in separate rows on the breadboard and not the same row because you don't want to short them together. And then one final note, you can see I've tried to keep my circuit color-coded here where I'm using red, green, and blue wires for the corresponding LEDs and the potentiometers that will control them. That is not mandatory, but it can certainly help keep your circuit neat and more organized. Looking at the code, we are really just combining things that we have covered in earlier tutorials for reading potentiometers using the analog read command and then controlling the brightness of an LED using the analog write command. We are just doing it 3 times since we have 3 different LEDs. So going through the code line by line here, we declare constant variables for the pin numbers that we will be using for the LEDs. And again, remember those need to be PWM pins. We also declare variables for the potentiometer pins. And then we declare the variables that are going to be changing the potentiometer readings and the brightnesses of the 3 different colors. In the setup function, you do not need to use the pin mode command if all you're doing is using analog commands. So the only thing we do here is set up serial communication so we can print out our RGB values for debugging. And then inside the loop function, we use the analog read function to read the voltage on each one of those analog pins connected to a potentiometer. And then maybe the only part that's a little tricky, we need to use the map function to convert that analog read value to a new range. That is because the Arduino's analog input pins are 10-bit, meaning they will return a value between 0 and 1023. That is 2 to the 10th minus 1 because it starts counting at 0. But the analog write function is only 8-bit, so it outputs a value between 0 and 255, or 2 to the 8th minus 1, again because it starts counting at 0. So the Arduino map function is a super convenient way to do that all in one line, where you take the variable you want to change, you give it the initial or input range, in this case between 0 and 23, and then the output range you want to map it to, in this case 0 to 255, so it will squish or convert these values down to that 0 to 255 range, which we then use with the analog write command to write the corresponding color value to each of the 3 pins, setting the brightness of the LED. Finally, we use the serial print command to output those 3 values just so we can check the serial monitor when running the code to make sure everything is working as we expect. If we run the simulation here in Tinkercad, we will see that initially all of the RGB values are 0 with the potentiometers turned all the way down and the LED is off. But as we click and drag each potentiometer, the value for the corresponding color will go up to a maximum of 255 and the LED will change to that corresponding color. So there is maximum brightness for red, here is maximum brightness for blue, and here is maximum brightness for green. And again, as I do that, you can see the corresponding number changing in the serial monitor here. And again, the cool part is that you can mix and match different values to create different colors, for example, by combining red and blue to make magenta. And if you turn all three all the way up, then you should get white or pretty close to white, depending on the LED. So this tutorial showed you how to control the LED using potentiometers, but of course you don't have to do that. You could make it react to a variety of other sensors. You can find tutorials for many other sensor types in our Arduino playlist. Or you could just hard code certain behavior, for example, by making it fade through different colors using loops to incrementally change these variables instead of having them correspond to a potentiometer. So we're not going to cover all of those options in this video. You can find lots of other good tutorials online, including in our Arduino playlist, linked in the description, and you can use them to add really cool lighting effects to your Arduino projects. We hope you found this video useful. You can find many other Arduino tutorials and cool science projects you can do with an Arduino on our YouTube channel, and you can find over 1,000 other projects in all areas of science and engineering on our website, www.sciencebuddies.org.